So starting. Oh, we're up and running. I think so. Evening all. I think we're up and running. Have we got sound? Look like it. Give us a thumbs up if you're coming up on video and sound, or type something in the comments below, down here, wherever they are. And then I know it's working. Marvellous. Just give it a second or two, because there's always a little bit of a time delay. Backwards and forwards across the internet. Let's see. Is there anybody there? Oh, we got a thumbs. That's good from somebody. We must be working then. Marvellous. Right, so evening all. All had a jolly week. I've not been in long. Been out today, catching up on what we were going to do a couple of weeks ago. When we all sort of family came down with flu, when we were going to do flowers at Mum's grave and one thing and another. So I've been out doing that today, and indoor sledging at the Snow Dome in Milton Keynes. That was quite fun. I spent most of my time falling off the sledge and getting covered in snow. But yeah, it was a rather amusing afternoon. So I'm knackered now. Anyway, not to worry. Evening, Paul. Yes, so not too much to report tonight, so probably a relatively short one. The Easy Live thing continues to be set up. We're actually now on the Easy Live website as such. Terms, etc. So it's getting there. I've got to do sort of a couple of training sessions, as they call them, next week to learn how to use it all. So hopefully sometime next week I'll actually be able to start doing things with it. If you haven't already got an Easy Live account, just go onto easyliveauction.com, and up the top there you've got create account. It's pretty simple, like anything else, just email, password, etc. You'll need to create your own account on Easy Live Auction if you haven't already got one. Because we're using their system for the auction, so it's different from your Colcon login. Just to make that clear. So that's there. In progress. Evening, Paul and Peter and Peter. So as I say, hopefully sometime next week, early half of next week, I'll get these little training session things completed. Signed off, so I know how to use it, and we'll start locking stuff up for May the 1st. What I'm not sure yet is, if you remember from the good old days of my own auction website, I used to kind of continuously update the auction catalogue, and the lot numbers would go on usually about the night before, because I was literally constantly jiggling everything around, all the signs on the walls, and rearranging the machines to make it look nice, and so everything could be seen. And then would lot it up in physical order around the room, so you could find everything at the last minute. I'm not sure if we can do that on the Easy Live system or not, i.e. whether I can upload the catalogue. And I can upload the lots and then add the lot numbers later on, but I'm not sure if I can make the catalogue visible to the public before it has the lot numbers added, if that makes sense. So if I can't do that, then I'll have to find a way around it. Which there will be, I don't know yet. So evening, Chris. So working all of that. So the first one, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be May the 1st, and that will be, as I say, with sort of bygone stuff. Georgian, Victorian, Edwardian, copper and brass, copper kettles, brass balls, brasses, sort of country bygone bits and bobs that are all around the place here. Don't know how many lots. Victoriana stuff. I'm hoping to find a couple of hundred lots or so. It'll all be pound start, sells whatever it makes for us, all got to go. But as much as anything, it gives a good trial of the system for me, and see how many people, see if I can manage to run it on just me, or virtually just me, or if we need more people, because that will ultimately dictate the charges, because obviously the more people I have to employ on a Sunday to actually run an auction, the more wages I've got to earn, and hence the higher the charges are going to have to be. So that's just why I'm holding off on announcing what the charges are going to be just at the moment. But I think it's going to be around 10 to 12 sellers, 20-ish buyers percentage, but then discounted down for Qualcomm members. I'm going to try and do about a 25% discount. I've got to see how I can make the discount thing work as well on the Easy Live system. Hopefully it'll be straightforward, but I don't know as it is. So you'll be paying, as Qualcomm members, you'll be paying, I would think, just less than 10% to sell and about 15% to buy, maybe something like that, which is about kind of the average of what people are saying they thought would be, you know, fair prices they'd be happy to pay. And I've still got to think about what we're going to do for videos of machines and things, because it's a very time-consuming thing to do. There's going to have to be a charge for those going forward. I probably can't charge realistically what they ought to be in what it costs me in time to do, because I don't think people will be prepared to pay it. So I don't know how I'm going to work around that one, but working on it. So that's where we're up with that. The buy it now things, I think there's some more stuff been listed under the spares since the other day. I know there is still some stuff to add. Coins as well, there should be some. Etc. So this, if you haven't tuned in in the last time, spares now and coins and tokens, and then shortly probably periodicals, probably books as well. These sort of small cheapy things that are easy to post out and don't really need to be auctioned as such. Now I kind of buy it now. So all you do once you're signed into the site, obviously, literally, so you want to buy this coin entry bezel, buy it now for £4, click on the button and then click it again to confirm. Or if you decide you don't want that one, click the little X to get rid of it. It's a 2-click to make sure, if you're using on your phone or an iPad or something, as a lot of people do, swiping up and down, you don't accidentally, if it was only 1 click, you could swipe up and your finger, you could buy something you don't want, so as to avoid doing that. So that's pretty straightforward. Check on your selling accounts under your little hammer. If you sent spares in some time ago and they haven't sold, or you can't remember if you've sold them or not, they'll be under the consignments button if I've still got them here, if they haven't sold. And then all you do then, if you look back to last Sundays, I did a demo of this working, and I took the sample lots off since then. But essentially you have a list here, little thumbnail picture of your items, what they are, and a button here which will say set price. So you just click that, put in £5, £10, whatever you want for your particular bit. Click the button, and then on the end, a green button will then light up and say list now. Click that, and then it goes live. So stuff goes live 7 o'clock every night. So that is, if you did anything now this evening, it would go live 7 o'clock tomorrow night, if that makes sense. So it's just so people know when to check in and see if there's any new stuff listed. So that's pretty straightforward. Evening, David. What has been suggested to me is something that was suggested once before as well. I think it might have been Tom I was talking to about several months ago now, is kind of making like a contra offer. So if we go over to the sales, let's think of an example. Let's find something that's relatively expensive, as it were. Just wanted for £30. What? That was 35. Oh yeah, I was supposed to say you can also anything that's yours. This button will be green. So instead of buy now, it will say your item and the price. If you click the price, then you can then alter the price. And the same on your sales page. Bits appear on your live page, and there'll be a list of them here, and there'll be a button to alter the price or end the listing altogether. If you've got a part listed, it's sold, or you send something in for sale, 2 weeks later you buy a machine that needs that part, you need the bit back again. So there's a button there to click end the listing, and that takes it off so no one can buy it. Yeah, so for example, from a buyer's point of view, so let's hook here. We've got a set of new old stock replacement real band tins for £30. Now let's say, well, you would buy them, but you only want to pay 20 quid. it's been suggested, well, can we have some kind of option? So instead of buying now for £30, we could have offer an amount, and then you type in offer £20 or whatever, which will then get sent to the seller, and the seller could then say, yes, I'll accept the £20, or no, and send back an offer back the other way again for 25 or whatever. So a bit like negotiation you do in person with somebody, basically. So could it be done? Yes, it could. It's not a huge challenge technically. One thing to think about with it would be, theoretically, there could be 2 or more people all doing the same thing on the same item at the same time. So, for instance, if we go back on her reels, this might go live tonight, and person A might say, "Oh yeah, well I'll offer £20." Person B might say, "Oh well, I'll offer £22" or whatever. So, in theory, the seller could get 2 or 3 offers through, and they then decide, well, they want 25, so they send the offer back to 25. And then, you know, basically whichever the first one of those buyers, A or B, to accept 25 would get it, and the other person would have to be rejected. So there's that kind of thing to think about. And also, the trouble with programming anything like this is you have to try and think of every single possible permutation of what might happen. So, you know, I'd have to think, well, okay, let's go to our £30 thing again. Let's say person A says, I'll offer £20 for it. The seller says, well, I already want 25, so they send back £25 back the other way. In the meantime, person B might come along while that negotiation is happening and say, well, I'll offer 26, for example, which obviously trumps that deal in the middle as it is anyway. So there's a lot to think about. It could be done. Whether it's worth doing or not is a completely different matter. I don't know, so it's just something for people to think about, chew over. Peter says, what's the point? As it's a fixed price sale, why not just auction the lot instead? Yes, exactly. Or leave it as it was. It's just, you know, as I say, it's an idea. I'm always interested in people's ideas. I never just dismiss any of them out of hand. You know, I do think about them. I think, is it practical? Is it worthwhile doing? Does it achieve anything? You know, the point of this is, as a seller, you set your price for what you want for your part or your bag of coins, or shortly probably your book or your old copy of the coin slot or whatever it happens to be. And, you know, somebody says, yeah, I'll pay that, and it's sold. Great, deal's done. You've got what you asked for. Or if it sits on there for a couple of months, you think, well, that's not sold. It must be a bit expensive. So then you just reduce your price a bit, the same as you do. You know, if you've got a buy it now listing on eBay or anywhere else, if it doesn't sell, well, it's too expensive, isn't it? Drop your price a little bit and try again. So I guess that's why where the ideas come from. The make an offer thing on eBay, whatever it's called. Yeah. Personally, I think, from my point of view, there's quite a lot of programming because it's quite complex to account for all those permutations. So it's several days worth of programming, and I think I've got better things to do at the moment. But I'll leave that one out there for people to chew over. You know, if everybody thought it was an absolutely fabulous idea and you couldn't do without it, well, then I guess we'd go ahead and program it. So there we are. So that's that. Yeah. So there'll be hopefully be more spare parts along soon. I'm just checking every day or two. Again, if you're looking for a part, just scroll down the page of the wanted. Click the button, fill the little form in, and the wanted ad goes up here. And don't forget to check that now and again, because you might have got bits people want. And same on the coins page, of course. There's a wanted section there as well. The prices are there at the bottom as usual, so the layout as such hasn't changed much. So there we are, machine wise. There's these 5 machines at the moment. As I said the other night, I don't know for sure of any more coming in now prior to auction. I think people are holding back. I had a text today from somebody who got Bandits again, I think. Did he say what they were? What we just done with the text? Oh, perhaps there might be a WhatsApp. Hang on a minute. No, I didn't see what. Oh no, a couple of machines and some Bandit spares again. So I don't know what those machines are, but for auction, he wants to auction them. So yeah, so I'm not expecting any more machines, or not many, shall we say, to be on the current system before the auctions. So there we are. So that's those. Excuse me. Don't forget, we've also got these rather fabulous papier-mâché heads up, which are all quite nice. Mr. Punchhead's quite good. I quite like him. He's very big, like 2 foot tall or something. Yeah. Mr. Plod, might look good stuck on top of a laughing policeman machine. Perhaps I should buy him and stick him on top of mine. There's a thought. Might do that. Yeah, so anyway, there's those. These will finish next weekend, and the machines as well. So there we are. Wanted machine-wise, what have we got on here at the moment? Let's have a look. Anything new? No, I don't think there's anything new since the other day. Rolling Road was the most recent thing on Sunday, wasn't it? So we'll see if we can find some of these into the auctions, hopefully. Again, don't forget, you can stick once up there if you're looking for anything in particular. We'll try and pull out the woodwork. We have found a few over the while. This has been worthwhile doing this. It has brought a few things in that we're looking for. So we'll keep up with that as well. Yeah, there we are. Any comments from anybody? Comments, questions, queries, whatever? Let me know. Over the weekend, I will try for Sunday night to pull out some more archive pictures, because I quite like doing that over the weekend. It's just been that busy the past couple of weeks, I just haven't had time to do any. But I will try and find a bit of time tomorrow or Sunday to dig some more out. I've been busy in the week pulling out bygone stuff, trying to find petrol and diesel around here. There's not any, which I must warn you about. If you're coming here across the weekend for anything, somebody's coming tomorrow, I've already let them know. Basically around Cambridge, Newmarket area, fuel is non-existent again. Diesel went about a week ago, and there's no petrol either. So Northampton way, where I was today, sort of Northampton, Milton Keynes, didn't seem to be much diesel about, but there was petrol, but big queues for garages everywhere. So I don't know what it's like the rest of the country. But just be aware if you're coming here, come with a full tank of juice so you can get home again. The problem we had last time, a few months back, was it seems to be particularly bad here because we're so far from the refineries, and around here apparently somebody worked out we get through quite a lot of fuel because a lot of people live here and commute to London or whatever. So it tends to be a bit of a commuter area where people just get through a lot of fuel, and being relatively rural as well, obviously, and being a long way from the refineries, so we're the last to get the trucks. Obviously, when they start filling up, they go from the nearest point, so they can get 2 or 3 deliveries in a day, and we're last in the line, as it were. So I suspect we'll be last again. Bit of a pain, but there we are. There's all these protester numpties apparently blocking fuel refineries or something. I don't know. I think you've got something better to do, wouldn't you? It's always the people who don't have to work for a living, you notice, who go on these protests and things and cause aggro for everybody else who has to work for a living, who's paying for their social money. Sorry for the rant, but, you know, pisses me off. Anyway, let's not get into all of that. So yes, so auctions are coming along. We're on target as far as that's concerned. The live auctions, the buy it now thing on the website currently is working okay. There's these 5 machines to buy. There's the nice heads to buy. Any of that, a lot of it doesn't sell will no doubt end up in the first auction. But bear in mind then there'll be a worldwide audience after it, so it may well make more money. So if you want to buy any of these things, it's probably a good idea to buy them now. Regards consigning stuff for the first auction, I think it'll be toward the end of May. So I want to get this 1st of May one out of the way, iron out any teething problems from that. Probably before I start accepting too much in. If you're coming this way anyway for anything, you want to drop stuff off, or if you book stuff in for Alan to collect, obviously send it, it's not a problem. I'll squeeze it in somewhere in the meantime. But we'll sort of start in earnest after May the 1st with a view of doing it toward the end of the month. And then hopefully monthly, as a regular monthly amusement sale, which we mixed like the good old days of machines, fairground art, circusy bits and bobs, advertising stuff, you know, enamel signs and all that, cash registers and things like that we used to do, vintage radios, gramophones, music boxes, all that sort of stuff that we used to sell. We'll put in again. I try and avoid cheap, junky stuff. I might have to put some kind of minimum fee on or something to discourage it, because it just takes up a lot of time. It doesn't earn me any money, and takes up space, and I haven't got the space and I haven't got the time. So I want to try and avoid all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, because my time's taken up with that, again, it's another reason then I won't be able to spend the time making videos of the better stuff and so on and so forth. So time is a finite resource. It costs lots of money, because we either use my time or we pay other people, all of which has got to be paid for one way or another. So there we are. So I don't think I've got anything else to report tonight. Next video will be Sunday night as usual. Saturday, Sunday I'm around. If you want to come and view, collect, deliver, have a chat, cup of tea, whatever, just give me a shout. But do bear in mind, fuel is difficult to get around here. Other than that, we'll carry on. And then we need to think, is Paul, yeah, Paul is here tonight. What's fuel like your way, Paul? Is there any problems down Essex way? You need to sort next weekend out, but again, if it's going to be difficult for fuel, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Might scupper things. So we'll have to play that one by ear, possibly. I don't think we're trekking halfway across the countryside and then getting stuck. As lovely as, you know, St Osyth is, perhaps don't all want to be stuck there for day on end. So we'll play that one by ear, I think. Oh, my phone is beeping at me. That's all right, I'll deal with that later on. Yes, any more for any more? If not, I've finished my tea, which usually means it's probably time to go. Yeah, good stuff. So any problems with anything, let me know. In the meantime, I'm trying to catch up with 1001 things now. I'm kind of back to reasonable health again, so I am plodding through everything. Peter's off 99. Paul says diesel's hard to get. Yeah, it's just none around here. there's rumours it's going to be difficult for the rest of the year, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare. I need to do a Faro route in my truck. I can't find any diesel to put in it to do it at the moment, which is a nuisance. Hopefully it won't get like it was last time, where there was so little in each vehicle, and it was, you know, you didn't go out looking for any fuel because you thought, well, if I had to go get any, I'm not going to get home again. It's all a bit of a problem, really. So we'll work on that one. We'll think on that. I'll perhaps have a chat with Paul over the weekend sometime, and we'll see. We'll have to have a bit of a contingency plan. It was going to be awkward that weekend. We've got to bear in mind also Easter weekend there's going to be a lot of people on the road, and if there is fuel shortages everywhere, it's just going to disappear, isn't it, instantly? What little there is. So we may have to think about moving it, I suppose, sensibly. I don't really want to, but we'll think on that one. Right, so that's probably it for me, I think. We'll catch up Sunday night, hopefully with some more archive pictures. If you've got anything like that, send it over to me. I have got a few to sort out. Some interesting stuff to look at and add to the site, because I haven't done any of that for a week or two. Yeah, all good stuff. Right, I think that's it then. It's all gone quiet. Have a jolly weekend, whatever they're up to. And I'll catch you on Sunday night. Nighty night. End stream, there we are.